Every month, millions of financially literate adults end the month with less money than they started with, despite earning enough to be comfortable. They track, plan, and restrict. And then, somewhere around the third week, the system quietly collapses. Not because they are undisciplined, but because they operate against the neurological architecture of the human brain itself. What you are about to hear is not another budgeting framework. It is a structural explanation of why traditional advice fails. The financial industry assumes that willpower is a fixed character trait, and that you can restructure dozens of behaviors simultaneously. This assumption is neurologically false. Your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for executive decision-making, does not operate on unlimited energy. Research at Princeton University demonstrated that self-control draws from a finite metabolic pool. Every decision you make throughout the day depletes this neurological reserve. By evening, your brain is underperforming not because you are weak, but because the metabolic substrate has been largely consumed. This is decision fatigue, and it leads to doing nothing, or doing what is easiest. The Columbia University JAM experiment made this mechanism visible. Researchers deployed 2 grocery displays, one with 6 options, the other with 24. The group confronting only 6 choices was 10 times more likely to complete a purchase. 10 times. When you open a spreadsheet containing every expense category simultaneously, you trigger paralysis and eventual abandonment. You present your brain with 24 jars when it can only process 6. Furthermore, each comprehensive overhaul that collapses erodes your internal narrative that you can manage money. You are no longer fighting your expenses. You are fighting your own accumulated evidence of failure. Researchers at the University of Chicago quantified what focus does. Participants pursuing a single financial objective saved 73%, more than those pursuing multiple goals simultaneously. 73% more from doing less. When your brain is assigned one specific target, your reticular activating system begins flagging relevant information that was previously invisible. You start noticing the redundant charges. Your divided attention had been too congested to register. Layered on top is the progress principle identified by Harvard Business School. The most potent driver of sustained motivation is the perception of forward movement. Small, discrete, visible wins trigger dopamine release, reducing the activation energy required for the next action. The structural solution is almost offensively straightforward. Each calendar month, you isolate one recurring bill or expense category, and only one. You dedicate that 30-day window to aggressively optimizing that single financial target. You are consciously granting yourself permission to not fix the others yet. Your brain needs one clear instruction and enough cognitive space to execute it. In practice, the sequence looks like this. The first month focused on groceries. Precisely tracked. Grocery spending logged at the transaction. Level revealed $847 a month. For a 2-person household, with exclusive cognitive focus, there was enough bandwidth to implement meal planning, transition to store brands, and buy protein in bulk. End-of-month expenditure $623. Surplus captured $224. The second month targeted subscription creep. A full audit surfaced 14 active subscriptions, including simultaneous cloud storage and competing music services. 7 subscriptions were terminated. 2 were downgraded and 5 were retained. Surplus captured $127. The third month addressed dining and food delivery. Rather than attempting elimination, a single structural rule replaced the default behavior. 2 planned dining experiences per week with a pre-committed ceiling. All remaining food expenditure was redirected to home preparation. This was not deprivation, it was the replacement of mindless spending with deliberate consumption. Surplus captured $380. The fourth month targeted fixed contract renegotiation. A single 12-minute call to the mobile carrier reduced the bill by $25, 2 hours of insurance shopping. Produced an equivalent policy at $73 less per month. Surplus captured $98. The fifth month addressed utility drag LED conversion, a thermostat scheduling adjustment, and smart power strips to eliminate phantom loads. Surplus captured $64. The sixth month restructured the financial infrastructure itself. Savings were migrated to a high-yield account at 4.5%. Automatic payment scheduling was established across all accounts. To eliminate late fees, surplus captured $130. Cumulative monthly surplus after 6 months, $1,023. Annualized in excess of $12,000. From the same income, from one optimized decision per month. There is one failure mode that will silently neutralize everything. If the savings captured remain inside checking, they will be absorbed due to mental accounting. Research from Carnegie Mellon University demonstrated that isolation of money fundamentally alters spending behavior. Funds isolated as savings are 40% less likely to be spent than identical funds in a checking account. Same currency, 40% different outcome purely based on placement. The mechanism that makes this permanent is automation. At the close of each month, once the savings figure is established, an automatic recurring transfer for that exact amount must be scheduled. Automation eliminates the monthly negotiation with yourself, the friction point where fatigue and rationalization historically win. With it, the system runs on structural momentum instead of willpower. 3 execution principles determine whether this succeeds. Never begin with your highest resistance category. Begin with whatever produces the fastest. Most visible win and subscriptions are almost universally that category. Cancellations take under 5 minutes. And the early dopamine signal is the neurochemical fuel that sustains everything. Do not calibrate success by dollar magnitude. Both small and large savings are permanent reductions to your fixed cost structure. Consistency is the only metric that compounds. And always measure before you cut. Spend the first week of every optimization month exclusively tracking actual expenditure. The number will be higher than you expect. This framework reveals that you are not bad with money. Because you lack discipline, you operate under a paradigm designed for a neurological model that has never existed. The one bill per month structure works precisely because it refuses to make that assumption. It asks nothing of willpower. It asks only for focus, 30 days at a time, sequentially, indefinitely. And those sequential windows do something that no weekend overhaul has ever produced. They do not just save money, they construct identity. After 6 months, you are no longer someone attempting to improve. You are someone who knows, systematically, how to engineer your own financial architecture. And that identity shift is the actual compound interest. Pull up your bank statement from last month, right now, not later. Identify the single expense category that feels most tractable. That is your target for the next 30 days. 1 bill, 1 month, every month. That is the entire structure. That is all it takes.